In our presentation, we're analyzing Module 3, which discusses if the international system can be fundamentally remade, and how that relates to public authority and control of violence. In our view, the international system is not fundamentally remade. It is composed of rational unitary actors that are looking out for their own interests, and even though these actors act in collaboration with international forums and other actors, they ultimately make decisions based on their best interest. Autonomous actors also assert authority and control what happens in their impermeable boundaries. Sovereign states utilize internal actors and external non-state actors that use legitimate force and violence to protect their boundaries and compete in the anarchical international system.
Anarchical states are like billiard balls. They're always colliding and threatening physical confrontation. Some states don't have the capacity to fulfill the security obligations of their nation to defend against such conflicts, so they transfer that authority over to private security firms. Private security is still ultimately run by anarchic states. They're acting in their own interests and utilizing their authority even when they hire out private security. Those firms are simply acting as an extension of the state itself, but ultimately private security firms take away the role of the main actor, the state, since the state itself isn't doing anything. In that way, the international system isn't fundamentally changing.
The development and stockpiling of nuclear weapons is a rational behavior that supports the notion that the international arena can't be changed. States authorize the development of nuclear weapons to convey their right to do it, as they have a moral obligation to protect the security of its people and strategic interests. Furthermore, states reserve the right to use physical force. Those who possess nuclear weapons are rational, unitary actors who are asserting their power and authority. The reality is, states are going to develop nuclear weapons, and others do so too, to create an equal playing field. Nuclear weapons prevent the escalation of violence because the actors of many of the states don't provoke others for fear of retaliation.
In a rational unitary system, having sovereignty is most important. Firms that are outsourced security are still hired and funded by a state that did so out of interest. Enforcement of domestic law is a product of legitimate violence, but while there is no recognized international law, control of violence is limited to respective authority. International collaborative efforts are generally ineffective in controlling violence, exemplified by UN non-action in many African countries' conflicts. States are rational when they are respected for their sovereignty. In a system that can't be remade, that sovereignty will always be a central component.